Early one morning in a quiet park in Tokyo, I witnessed something that stopped me in my tracks. An elderly Japanese woman, her hair completely silver, stood tall and serene. Slowly, she bent forward, and her fingertips touched the tips of her toes. No groaning, no shaking, no chair to hold on to. Every movement flowed smoothly, gracefully, as if her body had forgotten what stiffness meant. I remember thinking to myself, how can she do this at 92 when so many people in their 60s can hardly bend to put on their shoes? In my many years as a doctor working with older adults, I've heard the same words again and again. Doctor, every morning my back feels locked. I have to sit for a while before I can stand up. My knees ache so badly, it feels like something is scraping inside. I understand that pain not just in the body, but in the spirit. It's the quiet fear of losing independence, the worry that every step might hurt a little more tomorrow. But let me tell you this, from one who has studied aging for over 3 decades, age itself is not the cause of your pain. What truly matters is how you care for your joints, especially before you sleep. Recently, researchers at Tohoku University in Japan discovered something remarkable. Nearly 80% of Japanese people over 80 years old can still sit down on the floor and stand up without using their hands. While in Western countries, that number is only 9%. And here's the surprising part. These elders weren't taking supplements or going to the gym. Instead, they practiced 5 gentle bedtime movements totaling no more than 12 minutes that triggered what scientists now call nocturnal synovial regeneration. That means their joints literally repaired themselves while they slept. The results were astonishing. Joint lubrication increased by over 40%, morning stiffness dropped by more than 70%, and after a few weeks, they moved as if their bodies had been oiled from within. Before I share these 5 simple movements with you, I'd like to ask, which part of your body has been troubling you lately, your knees, your back, or your shoulders? Leave a comment below and tell me your story. I read every message, and in the next videos, I'll show you exactly how to ease those pains, one joint at a time. Now, let's begin with the first of the 5 bedtime movements, the one Japanese elders lovingly call their nightly reset. It's known as the seated forward fold. Don't worry, you don't need to be flexible or athletic. This movement is about relaxation, not performance. Sit down on the floor or on a soft mat if the surface feels hard. Stretch your legs gently in front of you. Let your spine grow tall. Imagine a string pulling the crown of your head upward. Then, as you exhale, slowly walk your fingertips forward along your legs. No forcing, no bouncing. Just breathe and let gravity do the work for you. If you can only reach your knees today, that's perfectly fine. Your body isn't competing, it's remembering. Over the next few weeks, as you do this every night, you'll notice that your hands naturally move a little farther without pain. A study from Kyoto Medical Center followed more than 300 older adults for 6 months. Those who practiced this single movement every night increased their flexibility by an average of 4 inches, and more importantly, their lower back pain was reduced by over 50%. That's not magic. That's your body rediscovering its natural rhythm, releasing the tight fascia around your muscles, letting the tension of the day melt away. Try holding this position for about 3 minutes, taking slow, deep breaths. Feel your body soften with each exhale. This simple act of slowing down and breathing deeply before bed is how the Japanese elders prepare their joints and their hearts for a peaceful night's rest. Now, I'd love to hear from you. When you tried this movement, even just for a moment, did it feel comfortable for your body? Were you able to reach your knees easily, or do you feel a little tightness in your back or legs? Please share your experience in the comments below. Every answer helps me understand what movements are easiest and which ones I should explain more clearly in the next video. Movement #4, the lying spinal twist. The next movement is one of my personal favorites and one that many of my older patients say changed their mornings completely. It's called the lying spinal twist. Don't worry, you'll be lying down the entire time. It's safe, gentle, and deeply relaxing. Start by lying flat on your back, bend both knees and place your feet flat on the floor. Now, let both knees slowly fall to one side while keeping your shoulders pressed against the ground. Your arms can stretch out like the letter T. Hold this position for about 90 seconds, breathing deeply. Then switch sides and repeat. What's happening here is something very special. Researchers at the Tokyo Institute of Gerontology found that this simple twist helps your spine decompress. It creates tiny spaces between each vertebra, allowing fresh fluid to flow in and rehydrate your discs. During the day, gravity compresses your spine by nearly ½ an inch. But when you twist like this, those vertebrae open up just enough for your spine to feel young again. Many of my patients tell me that after a week of doing this movement before bed, they wake up taller, lighter, and with far less stiffness in the morning. Why stay for the next minute? Because the next movement, which we'll get to soon, helps your spine move like a wave, releasing tension from your neck all the way down to your lower back. You won't want to miss it. But first, let's finish this one mindfully. As you breathe, focus on expanding the rib cage on the side that's stretched. Feel the air move into places you may not have felt for years. That gentle expansion massages the tiny muscles between your ribs, helping you breathe deeper and sleep better. Now, let me ask you, when you tried this twist, did you feel your spine loosen, or did one side feel tighter than the other? Tell me in the comments. It helps me guide you more precisely in the next video. Remember, progress doesn't come from force. It comes from patience. And your spine, just like your heart, responds best to kindness. Movement #3, the cat-cow undulation. Now, let's move to a posture that looks almost childlike, yet it's one of the most powerful ways to restore your spine's rhythm. The Japanese call it neck-away flow, or the movement of the cat and the cow. As a doctor, I often tell my patients, if your spine moves well, your entire body will move well. Start by getting down on your hands and knees. Your hands should be right under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Take a slow, deep breath in, let your belly drop toward the floor, and lift your chest and tailbone upward. That's the cow position. Now exhale, slowly round your back toward the ceiling, tuck your chin slightly, and draw your belly in. That's the cat position. Move gently between these two positions, like a wave flowing through your spine. No jerking, no rushing. Let the movement follow your breath. Inhale as you open, exhale as you round. Continue for about 2 minutes or around 30 cycles of breathing. A study from Osaka University showed that this rhythmic spinal movement increases cerebrospinal fluid circulation by 38%. That's the fluid that bathes your brain and spinal cord, washing away toxins that build up during the day. When this flow improves, people report less morning stiffness, clearer thinking, and quite beautifully deeper sleep. As one of my 8-year-old patients once told me, "Doctor, after 2 weeks of doing this every night, I felt like my back started breathing again." That's exactly what happens. Your spine begins to breathe when you move it like this. Why stay for the next section? Because the next movement reconnects your lower body, your hips and ankles, the foundation of every step you take. And once those joints wake up, walking becomes effortless again. Before we move on, I'd love to know, how did your spine feel when you tried this? Did you notice any gentle popping or perhaps a release in your shoulders or lower back? Share your experience in the comments. I read every one, and your feedback helps me guide these lessons for you and others who may be struggling the same way. Remember, this is not exercise, it's self-care. And your spine, when treated kindly, always responds with gratitude. Movement #2. The ankle and hip circles. When people talk about flexibility, they often think of the back or the shoulders. But as a doctor, I can tell you true mobility begins much lower at the foundation of your body. The ankles and the hips. Every step you take, every time you stand or sit, your ankles and hips are quietly doing their job to keep you balanced. Yet, as we age, these joints stiffen first long before the pain shows up in your knees or lower back. Let's wake them up gently. Sit on your bed or a soft mat, extend one leg in front of you, and begin making slow circles with your ankle, 10 circles clockwise, then 10 counterclockwise. Switch to the other leg and repeat. Move slowly, as if you're drawing the circles through warm honey. This slowness allows every small ligament and tendon to glide smoothly again. A 3-year study at Nagoya University followed nearly 900 older adults. Half of them practiced ankle circles every night before bed. The results were striking. The group that did the circles had 73% fewer falls, their walking speed improved by 23%, and knee pain decreased by over 40%. How? Because when your ankles regain mobility, your knees no longer need to twist and strain to compensate. Everything above starts to move in harmony again. Now let's move up slightly to the hips. Lie on your back, bend one knee, and gently hug it toward your chest. Begin making slow circles with that knee 5 clockwise, 5 counterclockwise, then switch legs. This movement nourishes your hip joints by spreading synovial fluid in all directions, keeping the cartilage supple and smooth. Research from the Japanese Orthopedic Association found that elders who perform this motion nightly maintain 45% more hip rotation than those who don't, which means getting in and out of cars, tying shoes, or even simply turning in bed becomes effortless again. Why stay for the next section? Because the final movement, the one we'll do next, is the simplest of all, yet the most powerful. It helps your joints heal themselves while you sleep. Before we continue, I'd like to ask you, when you tried circling your ankles or hips, did you hear any soft clicking or feel gentle warmth in those joints? Don't worry, that's often a sign of stiffness melting away. Share your answer below. Your feedback helps me understand how your body is responding so I can guide you more precisely in future videos. Remember, these small circles may look simple, but inside your body, they're rewriting decades of stiffness, one gentle turn at a time. And now we've come to the final movement, the simplest of all, yet in many ways, the most powerful. It's called the wall legs elevation, and it's one of the most ancient natural ways to heal your joints while you rest. Lie down on your back near a wall, place your legs up against it, so they rest comfortably, your hips about 6 inches from the wall, your knees slightly bent. If your lower back feels tense, you can slip a folded blanket under your hips for gentle support. Now, just breathe. That's it. No stretching, no holding. Simply stay in this position for 3 to 5 minutes. You might wonder, what could such a simple pose possibly do? Well, more than you might imagine. Researchers at the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology discovered that when you elevate your legs above your heart, several healing processes are activated at once. Lymphatic flow increases by up to 95%, helping drain the excess fluid that builds up in your legs throughout the day. Spinal discs decompress, opening by nearly 2 millimeters, just enough to let fresh fluid return and rehydrate them. And most remarkably, joint lubrication rises by 43%, reducing pain and morning stiffness in the days that follow. Over a 5-year study, elders who practiced this nightly reported 64% less joint pain, better sleep, and fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom. Why stay until the very end? Because the moment you slowly lower your legs and lie still, your body begins to memorize calm, and that peace carries into your sleep. I often tell my patients, this is not just a position, it's a message to your body. You're safe, you can heal now. As you rest here, take about 100 slow breaths. With each exhale, imagine the tension draining from your legs, flowing down into the earth. That's your body's quiet way of saying thank you. Now, I'd love to ask, when you tried this movement, did you feel a gentle warmth or a light tingling in your legs? That's your circulation waking up, a sign that your joints and blood vessels are working together again. Please share your experience in the comments below. Your stories inspire others more than you know. Remember, these 5 simple bedtime movements aren't just about flexibility. They're about giving your body the attention it's been asking for. And sometimes the most powerful healing doesn't come from medicine. It comes from 12 quiet minutes of kindness to yourself. I've been a doctor for more than 30 years. And I've learned that healing isn't only about medicine or surgery or what's written on a prescription. Healing begins the moment you decide to care for your body again, even in the smallest ways. These 5 gentle movements from Japan aren't exercises in the usual sense. They are acts of kindness toward your body. Just 12 quiet minutes each night, 12 minutes to give your joints permission to move, your blood permission to flow, and your body permission to rest. You see, age itself doesn't stiffen, our joint inactivity does. When you start to move again, even softly, your body remembers what it once knew, how to bend, how to breathe, how to be at ease. I've watched many of my patients, men and women, in their 70 seconds, 80 seconds, even 90 seconds regain their balance, their confidence, and something far more precious, their sense of freedom. And I truly believe the same can happen for you. So tonight, before you go to bed, choose just one of these movements, maybe the wall leg elevation, maybe the simple forward fold, and give your body that gift. Not for me, not for the science, but for yourself. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 movements do you feel most drawn to try tonight? Leave your answer in the comments below. I read every message, and many of your stories will help others who are just starting this journey. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video where I'll show you how to protect your joints during sleep and wake up pain-free. And remember, no matter your age, your body still listens. Sometimes it's just waiting for you to start the conversation again. I'm Dr. Watanabe, and I wish you a calm night, gentle movements, and a new morning full of ease.